so we wanted to make a video to give you guys an update how teaching's been like. So we'll just start with what our schedule is and what we teach. So Paul and I both teach English to middle school students. Well, I teach middle school only, but Paul teaches...
So I teach one middle school and I have 3 elementary school that I rotate.
3 elementary schools?
Mm-hmm.
Don't you teach high school too?
Well, the high school was an after school that was just recently added. So technically,
you will be teaching.
I'll be teaching 3 different grade levels.
Okay, so yeah, so even though Paul's teaching 3 different grade levels, I will be just teaching middle school. We will both be only teaching up to 22 hours. So our teaching times will only be 22 hours or like 22 classes. Not 22 hours, but 22 classes, which is, you know, each class is 45 minutes long for middle school, and then elementary is 40 minutes long, and then high school is 50 minutes long. So it's an average of about 4 classes a day. So I teach at middle school. So my main middle school, I teach 4 days a week. And then I teach at another school. You know, I'm there the whole day, but I really only teach 4 classes. And then I also go to 2 different schools on Monday and Tuesday. So in all, I teach at 4 different middle schools. And then the other times are planning time. So even though if I get done teaching for that day, I will just stay at my school and get work done. So yeah, so total we do have to stay for the whole day. Well, for like, you know, 8 hours a day. And yeah, that's pretty much our schedule. And so when we do go to another school, we do ride a bus, and we do get paid extra as well for every school that we go to. I think if it's in the country, it's more rural, so I think we get an extra 100,000 won, which is like close to $100, for every school that we go to, or every school that we go to that's in the country. So I have 2 that's rural, and then 2 is, you know, in the city. So, and then you go to
all four of my schools are in the rural area.
So the question that everyone's been asking is, what is it like teaching with COVID-19? So I'll start by talking about my schools and what my schools do, and then you can talk about your schools. Mm-hmm. So my school, well, my main school, I'll just talk about my main school, and then I'll talk about my other schools. But my main school, basically, you know, every morning the students come in and they get their temperature check, and it's like a camera, so they just walk past the camera, and then the camera records their temperature, and then they also sanitize their hands too before they come into the building. And then they take out their shoes and they, you know, switch into their slippers, because in Korea, students and staff, they switch into slippers. And then they just go into the classroom. Everyone's wearing a mask. You know, all the students, all the staff. The desks are still the same, like it's in rows. Some of them are in groups, so students are still able to work in groups. They just can't touch each other, but they can still work, you know, in groups and, you know, with partners. They can get up and walk around. There's really no strict, like nothing like really like 6 feet apart. Like no restrictions on how far they can stand. I think they're supposed to be 6 feet apart, but their desks are really just like one in front of the other, or like in a group.
And the room can only be so big for them to be 6 feet apart.
Yeah, true. Like in my classroom, I have 22 students, so they can't really spread out. But then, you know, in some schools, like in my other school, I have 8 students, so they can spread out a little bit more. But anyway, so there's no dividers, no sneeze guards. There are like dividers in the lunchroom, but that's it. And let's see what else. It's pretty normal. Just teaching. You know, I wear a mask, so I do walk around the classroom. I still just, you know, teach like how I would, like when I'm teaching, and if I'm like checking their work, I walk around the classroom. My co-teacher that's there too, she is there next to me, or she'll be in the back of the room. So we're pretty, you know, still pretty much co-teaching like how we would in a regular classroom. So there's really no difference there. The only difference is that we're wearing masks. And then we just sanitize our work area after class. And then the students use hand sanitizer after class, but they don't really clean the desk right away, because I think the next teacher comes into their classroom, and then they, so they just stay in that classroom. And then I think for another class, they switch. So I think it all really depends. But right now I'm just teaching 1 grade a week. So I do teach online. So for example, this week I taught only 3rd graders. So 3rd grade middle school, which is 9th grade in Korea. So, and then I also teach 1st grade, which is 7th grade. Yeah, 7th grade in Korea. So I teach them online. So I just do Microsoft Meets, I think it's called. And it's just basically, you know, just teaching virtually and, you know, showing the presentation, things like that. So then next week I will be teaching 1st grade in the classroom, and then 3rd grade will be online. So I only teach 1st and 3rd grade. So every grade, every week only 1 grade can be in the school. So there's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade. I only teach 1st and 3rd grade. So that's for my main school. My other schools, I do teach in the classroom every week. So there's no online classes. So I do go there and teach there every week. So what about you? You can talk about your schools.
So my schedule, it's a bit different, where my main school, which is the middle school, I go there twice a week, one on Monday and the other on Friday. And then my Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I rotate between 3 different elementary schools. I have yet to go to 2 out of the 4 schools I'm in. It's still, some of them are still pretty, a little bit sensitive in allowing new teachers to come in and teach, but this coming week should be my first week. My class size are a bit smaller compared to Jenny's. I average about at least 8 to 10 students total per class. And I teach at a range from, for middle school, I teach grade 1, 2, 3. So that's grade 7th grade, 8th grade, 9th grade. And then for elementary, I'm teaching 3, 4, 5, 6, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. That's pretty much my rotation. And for me to get to my school, I take the bus to all 4 of them. They're kind of quite a distance from where I live.
Like maybe like 30 minutes, right?
Yeah, I would say the average is 40 minutes. All my schools are 40 minutes away from where I live, if you put into a bus schedule perspective. As far as in-class environment, I wear mask. Everybody wears mask. That's the rule and that's the law. So you wear a mask, the student wears a mask, everybody wears mask. I know it can get sweaty, it can be uncomfortable, but that's just how it is right now.
I feel like I've gotten used to wearing a mask though. Like, it doesn't really bother me as much anymore. Like, I remember the first time wearing a mask the whole day. I was like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, this is horrible. I hate this.
Yeah.
So what do we love about teaching in Korea? So what I love is, again, I talked about the 22, only up to 22 classes a week, and the rest are planning time. So I love having the planning time and just having to teach like 4 classes a day. And so I have half of the day, just to work on the lesson plans or to come up with activities. Um, and so that's what I like. And then another thing I like is the students are very like appreciative, and they are eager to learn, and they like show it, they say it. Not that they don't do that in the US, like they do that, but like it's not as common, or not like I don't hear it as often. But like I don't know, just the other day I got done teaching class, and all the students were just really like appreciative, and they just were like, hey, thank you so much, teacher, like I'm going to miss you, I love you, thank you for teaching me, like I love English, so not that all the students are like that, but a lot of students are eager to learn, to learn English, and they are really appreciative, and they bow, when they say hi to you, and they, show that they want to learn. I mean, they're teenagers, so there are some students that, might just sit in the classroom and not do anything, but overall, I just feel really good, I guess, at the end of the day, or every class. At the end of every class, I always feel good about teaching. And my co-teachers are also very awesome. Like, they're great. They just, I don't know, I think I've been blessed to have like so many good co-teachers. And they're just really helpful. They're so flexible. Like, they're willing to co-teach with me and be flexible with my plans. Like, even though we're following, like 2 of my schools are following a textbook, they are also open to me, coming up with my own lessons and using my own lessons. And I really like that. I know I didn't talk much about the lessons, but that's another thing I love too, is teaching the lessons. Like, they're so fun to teach. They're like easy in a way. Not easy, but it's just like conversational English. So it's like, what is she wearing? What is he wearing? Like, it can be about clothes. Last week I taught about the environment, so, and like pollution. What can you do to save the environment? What can you do to protect the environment? So we talked about like reusing bags and reducing plastic bags. And then next week we're going to talk about saving the earth, and ways to reduce pollution in other ways, I guess. So yeah, that's really what I love. I especially just love my co-teachers. My co-teachers are so sweet. I think I have like the best co-teacher. I have one co-teacher that just makes me coffee every morning, brings in breakfast. Even though if it's just like a croissant, like she'll like break it in half and like just share it with me. Like, she won't even like ask me if I want it or not. She'll just break it in half and give it to me. And, of course I just accept it even though I'm not hungry and eat it anyways.
It's
So
in Korea, it's actually, you show gratitude if they give you food and you accept it. So even if when you're not hungry, just take the food.
yeah.
Just take it, and then maybe eat it later or something like that.
So what about you? What do you love?
I think the number one thing that I really like or really love is just being able to go into class and make a difference, teaching English to your students. Just like what Jenny mentioned, students, they are very appreciative. They are They want to learn English. They really do. And this is their only time to use it. This is their only time to shine. Other than that, they don't really use it out of class. They don't really use it outside of school.
They should.
They should.
But
culturally, they're doing other things. They're speaking Korean. They're doing other things. They're busy with their at-home life. But when they're at school, it's their time. It's their time to use English. It's their time to shine, and they really do want to learn. So, I believe 1 is going to class, 2 being able to teach English and make a difference. That's the 2 things that I really enjoy and really like.
Okay, thanks for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave it below. I know that we didn't cover everything, but I don't know. We wanted to make it short.
Yeah, there's so many things we haven't gone over, and it's still pretty much the beginning of a semester for us. So everything is still very new to us. As we go on towards the end of the semester, I'm sure we'll have more information to give out.
All right, thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Okay, yeah, let's move on to what we love about teaching in Korea. So what do we love about teaching? Let me start over. Ugh.